Many of our subscribers and listeners who are diligent observers of the movement of the stars and planets across our sky are aware that something is pulling and tugging at the Earth, in effect causing the Earth to wobble in such a manner as to create the effect that the planets and constellations are out of alignment. As it turns out, we are not alone in our interpretation of these observations. There is an indigenous tribe of people living in the Canadian Arctic regions, as well as in Greenland and parts of the United States, whose ancestors were fantastic forecasters of events relating to climate and Earth changes. They are called the Inuit people, once known as the Eskimos, who were the last native people to arrive in North America. Not long ago, the Inuit elders made a serious proclamation aimed directly at NASA, who continues to insist that climate change is caused by man-made global warming. Their warning was to inform the inhabitants of this planet that the devastating effects of climate change were the result of the Earth shifting due to an erratic wobble, which is in effect causing the sky to change. In this proclamation, the elders note that the sun has been rising in a different position, that the daylight hours have been prolonged in the Arctic, and that temperatures have risen rapidly. According to their observations, not only has the sun changed position, but the moon and stars are not where they should be seen in the night sky. This is affecting temperature and wind patterns across the globe, and making weather predictions much more difficult. Let's listen to the Inuit elders as they speak of this dilemma that has come upon the Earth. The people of the North are aware of the sudden changes that are taking place on the planet and have earnestly attempted to warn the nations of the world that the Earth's climate is in a downward spiral as a result of a severe tilting of the axis, which can only be caused by outside forces, by an influential power now looming in our solar system. While the American press remains silent on this topic, the Russians have decided to become more forthright on an issue that influences the entire world. the tremendous increase in earth-shattering fireballs and bolids, accompanied by a twisting magnetosphere, continues to occur, while oddities such as reddish rainfall and peculiar sunlight triggered by an out-of-this-world force are frequently unacknowledged by the media. NASA, for its part, continues to publish information that is intended to confuse and bewilder the general public about what is happening to the planet and why it is happening. They wish to keep you twisting in the wind while forces at play continue to impact the Earth's climate and continue to alter the mechanisms that shape this planet, such as volcanic and earthquake activity, which are often referred to as earth changes. A few months ago, NASA published a study showing that Antarctica is actually gaining more ice than it is losing. They made the announcement after using satellites to examine the heights of the region's ice sheet. The findings contradict the prevailing theory that Antarctica has actually been shrinking. However, it's important that you understand that the authors of this study are from NASA's Goddard Space Flight Center, and the cause of this ice gain isn't entirely known. They are just theories. It is worth mentioning that NASA was blasted by dozens of their own scientists regarding their global warming stance, even though a number of the world's top scientists have questioned just how much an impact CO2 gases have on climate change. So what then would we consider to be the cause of such a fluctuation in global mean temperatures across a region such as Antarctica or the Arctic? Changes in the Earth's orbit would be a likely culprit to such fluctuations, causing the seasons to become longer in duration, and thus creating a scenario where the Earth either heats up at a more rapid pace or cools down to such an extent as to create another mini ice age. But NASA wants to have their cake and eat it too. In other words, they want you to believe that the temperature fluctuations are the result of greenhouse gas levels in the atmosphere, rather than a planet that is in a severe wobble and shifting due to outside forces. Is there a purpose behind NASA's campaign of deception? It's a matter of interpretation, but skepticism abounds when it seems apparent that the absolute truth is being suppressed about the sudden rise in temperatures and the subsequent increase in catastrophic events that are unprecedented in nature that are happening all across the globe. There are many so-called stewards of the earth who understand that there is much more to this story than what we are being told. It's a fact that many humans have no consideration for their environment or their natural surroundings, as money has taken precedence over the planet's health and well-being. And yet there are powerful forces at play in our universe and across the solar system that are having a profound effect on our planet and the welfare of its inhabitants. Let's take a look at some of the latest video and image captures of the Nemesis Nibiru system that is now traveling through our backyard and making its presence known across many regions of the globe. A video was recently posted on Facebook, taken in an outdoor setting in Los Angeles on October the 9th. The remarkable thing about this video, more than the fact that the second sun is visible to the left, is that some sort of electromagnetic pulsation or a solar eruption of some sort is occurring with our sun. What's especially interesting about this video is that it almost replicates a video of the sun that was captured on October the 8th in North Carolina. Take a look at the intense flashing and pulsation happening in this video. This image from Australia, posted on October the 8th, shows the two-sun phenomenon. Now, the trolls who frequent this channel will tell you this is not real, that it was taken behind double-pane glass. But there is something quite unique about this image. The second sun is actually casting its reflection in the water. This is something that a lens flare cannot do. If you look carefully, you will see several lens flares located above the waterline, none of which are casting their reflection upon the water. So when someone tries to convince you into believing that lens flare anomalies or a refraction from the camera lens can actually create a false reflection on the water, I would take that interpretation with a grain of salt. Where the system is visible at any given moment will depend on the angle of the Earth's rotation in relation to the retrograde movement of the binary star system at the time in which the image is captured. If you haven't noticed, the second sun is getting closer to us. This is because the system is moving to a position above the ecliptic where its visibility will become more apparent. In June of last year, I published a video showing the Nemesis companion appearance in South Africa from a sunset location near the South African Large Telescope. The capture of this object, whether it be the second sun or the red planet Nibiru, has been noticed from this location for several months. Now, a number of shills and debunkers dismissed the image from last year, claiming, as they always do, that it was nothing more than a lens flare. Well, I have some video coverage that was taken from this location just a few days ago on October the 8th. As you will see in this video footage, the clouds partially obscure this object passing in front of it. So how is it that clouds can pass between the so-called lens flare and our view of this object? The answer is they cannot, as this is not a lens flare. Now, I encourage you to check this out for yourself. So rather than accept my interpretation of this video, go to the site listed here and view the time-lapse video. Here is a video capture from the Moonglow Observatory in Warrensburg, Missouri, taken on September the 19th, showing the binary sun as well as one of the planets of this system, resembling the appearance of the blue star Kachina, which the Hopi Nation has referred to as the harbinger to the day of purification here on Earth. There is no doubt that two suns are observable from this observatory web camera. In September, a pair of space weather balloons were launched from opposite sides of the United States to measure cosmic rays in the atmosphere. During the flights, a spherical camera captured unique images of Earth from the stratosphere. This fully interactive and spinnable and zoomable view of the Atlantic coast from an altitude of 108,000 feet reveals something quite striking. As the sun comes into view, you will notice that there are disk rings around the sun. Now, why is this observation that important? Because what you are viewing here portends that something very large is lurking at some distance behind the sun. And that is definitely something that is disconcerting, or something that should certainly raise some red flags. But there's something else in this video that is captured in the far distance. Take a look at this planetary object here. Does this look familiar to you? Could this be the infamous Planet X Nibiru, which is the largest planet within the binary star system Nemesis? Something now appears to be lurking somewhere within the inner solar system. Could it be that this is what NASA was trying to hide from the public when they shut down the ISS cameras? It has been widely reported that they have been concealing videotaped images of UFOs from the International Space Station. So hiding something as massive as what is coming our way is certainly not out of the realm when it comes to the workings of NASA. In my previous video, I described how climate change and the extreme weather events that are related to these changes are creating havoc on the planet. Mega Hurricane Matthew had a tremendous impact on the United States, to the Caribbean island of Haiti, and to the Bahamas. The tidal surge from this storm was one of the most powerful ever recorded, causing widespread flooding along the Atlantic coast of the United States and claiming the lives of more than 1,000 people in its wake. One cannot describe how serious this is becoming. It is happening too often, and its effects are long-lasting. Take a look at these before and after images from North Carolina. It tells its own story. Just prior to the formation of megastorm Matthew, another superstorm on the opposite side of the world hit Taiwan. It was the strongest typhoon to strike the region in recent memory. Take a look at this amazing video, which gives you an idea of the force of this storm. Not only is the weather becoming more violent and more intense, but strange space rocks and objects of unknown origin are entering the Earth's atmosphere. Take a look at this astonishing early morning Facebook video from Arizona, captured on September 19th. Is this a meteor or asteroid crashing through the stratosphere, or a precursor to what is coming our way? There are also strange sounds emanating from the heavens, a phenomenon which defies logical explanation. On October 2nd, the sounds of trumpets could be heard in the sky over Jerusalem. Is this a warning from the heavens, as described in biblical scripture? Listen to the sound. It is almost deafening to the ears. Also notice the odd shape of the clouds above the city. They form a large circle in the place where the strange sound is originating. These images were taken just yesterday, October 13th, from Australia. It is a very disturbing capture, as it indicates that the Nemesis system is getting closer and appearing much larger in recent photos. There are many things happening now that we do not fully comprehend. Maybe we are not meant to know these things because they will inevitably cause fear and paranoia among society. My many years of investigation into the existence of Planet X leads me to believe, as it does for many others, that NASA knows that there is a brown dwarf star called Nemesis that is orbiting around our solar system, that this star has 7 planets and moons of its own. They have known about this invading system for decades, but have kept it a secret all this time, realizing that the time would arrive when they could no longer keep it hidden. That time has arrived. I'll close this presentation with this video that was captured on September 9th in California. This explains why the passage of this system can no longer be hidden from the public. It's there in front of our eyes. We can almost touch it. And still they try to tell us it doesn't exist.
As the second sun sets below the horizon, it casts its reflection upon the waters, in a scene which is almost picturesque. And yet its presence foretells of something much more sinister in nature, something wicked, which this way cometh.
Many of our subscribers and listeners who are diligent observers of the movement of the stars and planets across our sky are aware that something is pulling and tugging at the Earth, in effect causing the Earth to wobble in such a manner as to create the effect that the planets and constellations are out of alignment. As it turns out, we are not alone in our interpretation of these observations. There is an indigenous tribe of people living in the Canadian Arctic regions, as well as in Greenland and parts of the United States, whose ancestors were fantastic forecasters of events relating to climate and Earth changes. They are called the Inuit people, once known as the Eskimos, who were the last native people to arrive in North America. Not long ago, the Inuit elders made a serious proclamation aimed directly at NASA, who continues to insist that climate change is caused by man-made global warming. Their warning was to inform the inhabitants of this planet that the devastating effects of climate change were the result of the Earth shifting due to an erratic wobble, which is in effect causing the sky to change. In this proclamation, the elders note that the sun has been rising in a different position, that the daylight hours have been prolonged in the Arctic, and that temperatures have risen rapidly. According to their observations, not only has the sun changed position, but the moon and stars are not where they should be seen in the night sky. This is affecting temperature and wind patterns across the globe, and making weather predictions much more difficult. Let's listen to the Inuit elders as they speak of this dilemma that has come upon the Earth.
Mana narunangit giniga mana ujuk narunangit to kawi manaktok udunga tawang na tuktun saulot to tay simane balong how you would like to tunga ana udde bala takashida kadu de balok sibo ro mga tanali udde sibo lo takashipina kaba tabang tabani mi to ma tana udde sibo lo takashipina tabang ala kashu gobi sibo sibo lo ma karbalo mi bawalo watro tinido Isili, Eva Kitty Fox, Sibaga, and the Lunago, Eva Uberuni Power, the Power, Uber Sibaga, Uber Sibaga, the Power, Uber Sibaga, and the Lunago, Isimaga Taku, Eva Kitty, of course, you would like to talk about the screen. Sida, not the Obu, Kick Palanga, I think Naligati, Kangaronga, Akaunga, Shukuini Takani, Hawi Kipanuma.
Many of our subscribers and listeners who are diligent observers of the movement of the stars and planets across our sky are aware that something is pulling and tugging at the Earth, in effect causing the Earth to wobble in such a manner as to create the effect that the planets and constellations are out of alignment. As it turns out, we are not alone in our interpretation of these observations. There is an indigenous tribe of people living in the Canadian Arctic regions, as well as in Greenland and parts of the United States, whose ancestors were fantastic forecasters of events relating to climate and Earth changes. They are called the Inuit people, once known as the Eskimos, who were the last native people to arrive in North America. Not long ago, the Inuit elders made a serious proclamation aimed directly at NASA, who continues to insist that climate change is caused by man-made global warming. Their warning was to inform the inhabitants of this planet that the devastating effects of climate change were the result of the Earth shifting due to an erratic wobble, which is in effect causing the sky to change. In this proclamation, the elders note that the sun has been rising in a different position, that the daylight hours have been prolonged in the Arctic, and that temperatures have risen rapidly. According to their observations, not only has the sun changed position, but the moon and stars are not where they should be seen in the night sky. This is affecting temperature and wind patterns across the globe, and making weather predictions much more difficult. Let's listen to the Inuit elders as they speak of this dilemma that has come upon the Earth.
tengksini udah ada kukian udah tahun dan kamu ni kedua nama nada sepuluh tahun dan sekat terap sembilan kamu nama mana ika aku nggak tahu semua mana udah meliuk ika kan ni makro nik tahun itu nerap tu kukian yang lain langsung ni mana narunang itu gini gak mana ujuk narunang itu kau yang mana tu udah nggak tahu mana pokok saurat tu tay sembilan belum kau yang berlari kedua tu karena ujuk berlari terkasih kalau itu belum sih orang mana karena di itu sih belum terkasih kena kabar saya teman ini itu gua karena itu sih belum terkasih kena kalau nggak ada kasih gua ni macam orang gua itu belum awal waktu itu ni di sini ni saya kerja doktor sebelum mengatakan ini namun saya baru ni tahu tempat produksi sebelum mengalami tempat waktu produksi sebelum mengatakan ini namun isu bagi kata aku dan baca kita ada ukau sering berlari kata dari sekian sehingga
nak lewat kijak lupa dengan asyik nali galak cuma kang lalu nama kakak bunga sepuluh ini tak kerja ni kawin sebanyak sepenak apa bunga nanu boleh bunga kami anu ni dekat terlalu cuma kalau bunga nuna lewat tanah asyik nali galak cuma nak pilih mau bunga dah jam bicara bunga tak kasih mau nak sekian
sekarang tak aku sih kita ada tu juga nuna kerja doktor rumah sekarang tahu nak pada dengan akhirnya anak saya orang aku sih balik tu kalau kakak aku ibu pun ni. Di teman misalnya yang lugu doa, di sana orang nak sangin nak panggil nak tahu waktu kalau